Good evening. Today we have an important issue. Vitaly Gennadiyevich Savelyev is reporting on the prospects for implementing the International North-South Transport Corridor.
Vladimir Vladimirovich, before we consider the main issue, I would like to ask two questions. First, what is our attitude toward the initiative of U.S. President Donald Trump regarding the creation of the Peace Council? And second, what are our assessments and forecasts in our position on the North-South Transport Corridor?
Of course, as for the Peace Council, we did indeed receive a personal appeal from the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, inviting us to join a new international structure being created on his initiative, the Peace Council. In this regard, I would first of all like to thank the President of the United States for this proposal. We have always supported and continue to support any efforts aimed at strengthening international stability. We also note the contribution of the current U.S. administration to the search for a solution to the settlement of the Ukrainian crisis. As for our participation in the Peace Council, the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been instructed to study the documents that have been sent to us, to consult on this matter with our strategic partners. And only after that will we be able to give a response to the invitation conveyed to us. The proposal made to us primarily concerns the settlement in the Middle East and the search for possible ways to resolve the pressing problems of the Palestinian people and to address the most acute humanitarian problems in the Gaza Strip. In this regard, I will note the main point is that the entire process should have a favorable impact on the long-term settlement of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, based on the relevant resolutions of the United Nations, and that the inalienable needs and wishes of the Palestinians should be taken into account. This concerns recommendations for the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip and its basic social infrastructure, healthcare systems, water supply, and the establishment of uninterrupted food supplies. Therefore, already now, even before we decide the issue of our participation in the composition and in the very work of the Peace Council, taking into account Russia's special relations with the Palestinian people, we could, I think, send $1 billion to the Peace Council from Russian assets that were frozen back under the previous U.S. administration. Incidentally, the remaining funds from our own assets frozen in the United States could also be used to restore territories affected during the hostilities after the conclusion of a peace treaty between Russia and Ukraine. This possibility is also being discussed by us with representatives of the U.S. administration. I plan to discuss all these issues with President of Palestine, Mahmoud Abbas, with whom we will hold talks tomorrow, as well as with American representatives Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, who are also arriving in Moscow tomorrow to continue the dialogue on issues of the Ukrainian settlement. That is what concerns this matter. Now, as for Greenland, this does not concern us at all, what is happening with Greenland. But we do have experience in resolving similar issues with the United States. In the 19th century, I believe in 1867, as we know, Russia sold Alaska to the United States, and the United States bought Alaska from us. And, if my memory serves me correctly, the area of Alaska is 1,717,000 square kilometers. Well, a little more. And the United States bought Alaska from us for $7.2 million. It is necessary to check these figures, of course, but in my opinion, that is how it was. In today's prices, taking into account inflation over all these many decades, that figure would be $158 million. And the area of Greenland is a little larger, I believe, about 2,166,000 square kilometers, also with a little extra. That is, the difference is somewhere around 449,000 square kilometers approximately. Well then, if we compare this with the cost of the United States acquiring Alaska, then the price for Greenland would be, well, somewhere around $250 million. If we compare it with the then prices of gold, this figure would probably be closer to $1 billion. But I think the United States would be able to handle that figure as well. And most importantly, Denmark and the United States also have their own experience in this regard. In my opinion, in 1917, Denmark already sold, and the United States bought, the Virgin Islands. So such experience also exists. Incidentally, Denmark has always treated Greenland as a colony and treated it rather harshly, if not cruelly. But that is already a matter of a different order. It is unlikely that this interests anyone now. But it definitely does not concern us. I think they will sort it out among themselves. Let us move on to the main issue and give the floor to the Vice Prime Minister of the Russian government, Comrade Gennady Savelyev. Please.